What is up, comic fam? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. Happy new DC Day. That's right, it's Tuesday. That means it's part one of the 48-hour event that happens every week called New Comic Book Day. Some awesome stuff that came out this week. I'm excited to get into it. But before we do any of that, check this out. So we're lucky this week we have none other than Ryan, new guy, joining us to hang out, talk new DC books, and just BS a little bit this afternoon. But first, let me do a little bit of this stuff first. All this is, where's all my stuff at? There it is. Shout out to Big Time Collectibles for sponsoring the monthly Legion League giveaway, as well as Justin Comics. If you need anything clean or pressed, hit him up. Use that promo code We Are Legion and take advantage of the special discounts that he's running right now. And also, if you're interested in winning an Ultimate Fallout 4, be sure to go back a couple videos ago. It's already posted on all about that giveaway. Ryan, how are you today?
Doing awesome.
Oh, wow. She's sitting on the train track to get somewhere with a dinosaur.
Oh, cool.
It is cool. You're active.
It's been a good day. It's interesting that we do this at this time because it's felt like a very long day, but it's been a good day. So
it's been a long day for me. It
Yeah.
was a long day yesterday. I got up at 5 o'clock, got home at 5:30 a.m. or 1:30 a.m. Went to work for an 11-hour shift, did a quick change, and went straight over to the new house. And I just decided that I want to be done with the painting. Like all day at work, I couldn't even think about work. All I could think about was, when am I going to get this painting done? I'm off Tuesday. I'll go do it tomorrow, and flip the switch. I said, no, I'm going to go over there tonight and just stay as long as it takes to do it. And I told my mom not to tell my wife I was doing it because she was going to work, and she decided to switch shifts with somebody or put her name in the hat to leave early, and she ended up getting off. So luckily, I had some help, so it only took 6 hours to get all the painting done. But it's done. It's done. So we're about to start getting the next step in order. We're going to get the carpet cleaner people in there, and then the little professional people that come in and just sweep, mop, wipe down walls, the whole 9 yards, just disinfect the world, get all that lined up to get in there.
When do you move?
This month is the last month in this house. So if it was up to me, I would be sleeping over there tomorrow. This month's already paid for, paid first and last month's rent when I moved in. So just not a single day beyond this month.
Yeah.
We already started moving some stuff out and putting into a storage unit because there's some more furniture that we don't want to just get rid of. Not yet. We don't have time to try to sell furniture kind of thing and don't want to throw it away. So we put some stuff in storage already. We've been over there just getting the house ready, minor repairs and just painting and stuff like that. So as soon as the carpets get clean, we'll start actually moving in the actual living stuff.
Cool. It's going to be exciting to see the new setup.
Probably a little while before it's all there. As you heard, I'm just trying to figure out at this point. I got to make the calls and get it where there's not hiccups. I don't want to have like some kind of weird like blacked out period where we don't have any like Wi-Fi over there and stuff. And well, I might be coming off of work, coming over here for a few days and recording with nothing behind me, just sitting in this empty house with this laptop. Or just do some guerrilla style videos with my phone. Who knows?
Right.
Old school.
Old school.
Throwback Legion. It'll be fun. I'm going to say hey to people real quick. Let's dive into these new books. So we have Lisa Nobles has rejoined the Legion. That's weird that it popped up on here on this video today because I saw where she's been a member the whole time. Like it's just constantly renews. But a big thank you to Lisa's for the support of the channel, everything. You absolutely rock and roll. Be sure to check out her Instagram page. She posts some awesome books all the time on there. Brother John, how are you doing today? My man, throwing those DC emojis. I love it. Flash by Night Comics is in the building. TJ, how are you? We have to get you to join one of these days. One of these days. We are most definitely Legion. Alan Rue, how are you today? My good sir. He's got his 100 subscriber giveaway video posted. If you want to see what he's giving away and enter his contest, be sure to head over to his YouTube channel when you get a chance. Hey, yo, I'm here for the rare public appearance by Mark from Legion of Comics. Yeah, yeah, Flo, good old, good old Flo. He's not even in the chat yet. He said, kind of like looks like Mark's. He's talking about how Rob was on like 30 live streams in the past 10 days. He said Mark's son fell off. Rob took the mantle. I'm here for Nick and the chat. Don't know who this Mark guy is. Yeah, let's know if we can find him. Augusta
It's not a
driver's
bad
stuck.
reason to be
Only
here.
when you're on the road, Alan. Only when you're on the road. Happy DC Day. What is going on, Kyle? How are you, Mr. Wheelchair Superhero 87 in the building, aggressively relaxing? What is happening? So there's not a giant list of books that are dropping for me. It's not one of those 15 plus on my pull list this week, but it seems like every book that's dropping is one that I'm like heavily invested or excited about. I've been meaning to know, is it easy to hit the join button? But I make everything harder than it should be. Yeah. That's something that you'll just have to overcome on your own. But we are here for moral support. But it seems like every book that DC dropped was one that was like high on my anticipation list. So I'm excited to go down this list. And I know you had a good opportunity to go ahead and read some stuff. This is going to be a spoiler-free talk today. We definitely don't have a problem telling you if we happen to read it, if we enjoyed it or not. But we're not going into any details or anything like that on the books. So don't have to run off if you haven't read it yet. Mwah, smooches.
Have the best day ever.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
Moochie
The
boochies.
best day ever.
Love
The
you.
day's already halfway done.
Yeah, but all right.
That's a lot to accomplish in half a day now, Kyle. Good God. Set me up for failure.
The kids could get along and it would be the best day ever.
Ryan, where are you, man? We're at the beach.
We're at on the beach.
There's a lot of beach out there.
Right? It's an island, but it's not a small island.
We're doing good today, Kyle. Thank you for asking. Hopefully, Flash will get one. What is going on, Ashton? Let's go. So yeah, Ryan, let's go ahead and just kick it off. Like it was my blind pick of the week. If you watch Chris the Comic Vets channel, pretty much every single Sunday he posts a video that him and I do together called Two Cool Guys, Two Hot Picks. It's just such a weird name. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't come up with a name, but we both give you our top pick blind going into the week for a book that we're either most anticipating on. He might give you a spec one or just a cool cover art, whatever the case. But mine was the new Black Label Prestige format Aquaman Andromeda. So this is from Rom V. That was one of the big things that I was excited about. I tend to love all the Black Label stuff. It's a time for it's Elseworlds. It's DC's current Elseworlds line, so they're not contingent upon the continuity of stuff going on, and they can really write some outlandish stories. And like, for example, in this one, like people don't know Aquaman exists at the beginning. You know, it's just fresh. Like there's no like alien contact hasn't been made, and it's cool. So it's its own self-contained kind of stuff. But this was good. I actually read it. It was really good.
Yeah, I read it as well, and I don't know if it was my pick of the week going in. It was really high on my list because the artwork we had seen was beautiful, and Rom V does no wrong. So it was definitely high on my list, but like Batman Killing Time was a book that was like already going, so I was like excited for that one. But after reading Andromeda, man, like might be the book of the week for me. And we're only in the first 24 of those 48 hours. So I have to say, like this book was absolutely phenomenal. Everything from like the oversized artwork, the feels, the vibes, the writing, like everything was there. It hit on every level perfectly.
It really did. And to this comment in the chat right here, he said Superman Year One, Swamp Thing, Green Hell, the Prestige format stuff have been great. Definite pickups. I couldn't agree more. I really enjoyed that Superman Year One. A little bit of the dialogue got repetitive. I'm very Superman biased though, but John Romita Jr.'s artwork in it was phenomenal, especially ironically that second issue that took place in Atlantis. It was absolutely gorgeous. But I really enjoy the Prestige stuff as well. I can't wait for that Swamp Thing Green Hell to issue 2 to drop. Seems like it's been a while. But But this was dope. I love the art style, how you touched on it for a second. The coloring is gorgeous.
Oh
It's
my
very
God, the colors are
cinematic.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is very cinematic panel work in this. And the
It
way that
reminded me a lot, like as far as like tone and the way it felt, it reminded me a lot of is it King Kong or is it just Kong? The one that came out like what, 4 or 5 years ago? The way you get like those like real steady shots with like the orange background, you know, and the helicopters and stuff, like those scenes, like this real slow intentionality that just keeps showing you different scenes of different characters, and they're all like falling into place and setting up, you know, where the story's going to go and what's going to happen. You know, like this issue was definitely like setting up the dominoes, you know, but it did it in such a cinematic way. It just felt amazing to read through, and I don't even know how many pages it was, but I was captivated by every single one of them.
gift memberships to this channel's viewers, your gift will be publicly announced. Lucky recipients selected by YouTube get 1 month of access to personal Legion. Yeah, not.
Has Nick been hacked?
What's going on, Ruby? Yeah, the setup was amazing. It was the way that they kind of introduced all of our characters, and the way that it was not Tom King, but the book was like fragmented very well, and how the things when stuff came to a head was really well done.
Well, there was like a slightly tweaked artwork for like every scene, you know, and that like flowed really well too, because it was similar enough that it didn't feel like different artists or different books, but at the same time, like it kind of contextualized each and every character and what's going on as they're setting it up.
Yeah, that little flashback. That little flashback, I won't get into details, but toward the end of the book, we got like a 1-page flashback. I don't know why, but that was haunting, dude.
Yeah.
That was haunting.
Well, yeah, that would probably get too spoilery, but the way that the panel work handles it,
Yes.
just like, what?
Yes. that one panel where like,
right?
Oh man.
Yeah, it was really good. I really liked it. I thought pretty much every element of it came together perfectly. I'm excited. Yeah. It's a 3-parter, right?
Yeah, from what I remember, because as yourself, I try not to go too big on the solicitations. I don't want to get too much into them, but I think I remember it saying in an article when they first talked about it that it was going to be a 3-parter. Last thing I do want to touch on is the way that Aquaman's suit is done. Mm-hmm. Like it's almost like he's a part of the sea life with the coral and the barnacles on him, and you can even like with his pants, you can see like the sinew of his muscle and stuff. It's really, really creative way to do him. I really enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, he kind of does a Luca thing where like on land he looks like a human.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good read. I definitely recommend this one. Thank you for your Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, this is definitely going to rank high on my list for all 3 issues. This was phenomenal.
Yeah, and like you said, Ron V really hasn't let us down yet. That doesn't come apart. That's all it does. Ron V really hasn't let us down at all at this point. I can't think of one thing that he's done that I've read that I regret that I read or wasn't excited getting through, with the exception of maybe his Venom run, which isn't his solely. It's a back and forth. Which is
ironic, right? It's coming out Ewing. That's 2 writers that never miss until they get together.
Yeah, and I guess it's like 2 positives make a negative in that sense. I guess like they're not neither one of them have enough room to possibly do what they would want to do.
Probably like a ton of editorial oversight on that project too. So I'm sure their hands are tied, and bound, and cuffed.
It's rough. Next up on the list, we're going to start with the big one of the week. Anybody who's pays attention to comics knows that this event was coming, and today is issue 1. So my shop is still waiting on their issue A's to come in. There was a I don't remember what he said, if they were shorted or something, but there was a couple of issues of one cover in there, and it was the Capullo cover. And that's issue 1 of Dark Crisis. So the 7-issue summer event kicking off, helmed by Joshua Williamson. Issue 1 is here. And ironically, I was flipping through the Superman collection that my shop just bought, and they had this cover there, which I picked it up just because. I mean, if it was any other day, this collection just came in, but
Ooh. Nice.
Dark Crisis, Dark City. Dark Crisis, Dark City. Was that intentional? I don't know. Have not read this one yet. This is actually next on my reading list. So I got nothing for you. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to check that one out. I haven't read it yet. But I'm excited to like kind of get into the event finally and see what we're in for at this point, you know. See what their more like declarative statements are on Dark Crisis versus like all the setup we've been going through. All the pieces are in place. I'm ready to see it start playing out.
Yeah. It's a dark day when TK books drop. Thoughts and prayers, everyone. Yeah.
Good thing those mean nothing.
It's always fun to have Flo in here.
Right.
Meaning that he doesn't read Tom King books, but he just loves the troll Dameron. But yeah, Dark Crisis #1, and then the I guess the original cover for it. Like that's crazy to me. Like that, I just thought that was ironic. I wasn't looking for this. I just the first time I flipped through a collection, it was just bought. I'm like, yeah, let me get that. Good timing. And since Flo's finally here. I'm pumped for this one, Batman Killing Time, issue #4, which will be the second appearance of the Help. Probably one of the most exciting characters I've seen in a Batman comic in a while. Like, this new character is phenomenal. Flo will give you more details in the chat, but until he's done typing that, Ryan, what did you think of this issue?
Oh, man, this issue was awesome. You know, that last one was clearly phenomenal reading as, you know, we get introduced to the Help and everything. But this issue is great. It kind of reminds me of No Country for Old Men, actually, as we see Batman's on his way trying to catch up with the Riddler and Catwoman. And so then the Help is hot on his tail as well, you know. And so we're getting like all these different scenes of them going through like these little small towns and stuff and just kind of the impact they've had on the world around them. And you also get like some really cool scenes with what Catwoman and the Riddler are up to, and it's a really good issue, man. There's some amazing dialogue in there that just like drips with all the tension that the visuals are presenting to you, and it's just like really well in sync with whatever what the artist is doing on it as well, you know. So
and it's that Marquez is doing the interiors on this, and it's not somebody I was really familiar with until this series. And I remember when I opened that first issue and they got that first like page splash of Batman, like, dude, this is nuts. This is like Clayman level. Like somehow Tom King gets some of the best artists in the game on his stuff, from Greg Smallwood to Mitch Gerards, Clayman. He had even had Ian Sharp as a fill-in. Like, how you get Ian Sharp as a fill-in for 3 years?
How is that your bench warmer?
Yeah, that's
it's almost like they all want to be associated with an amazing writer. I mean, I know some people would object, but definitely seems like it to me.
Flo said he remembers when he opened his first TK book, he closed it immediately. Yeah, to my knowledge, the only one that he's told me that he's read was Rorschach, which, in my opinion, is it's not a bad book, but it's easily the weakest book out of his stuff.
I mean, that was pretty late in the game. There's so much great Tom King stuff out there. When he was doing Rorschach, he was doing Strange Adventures and something else as well.
Yeah, there was
Batcat was out at the time, right?
Yeah, Batcat had started overlapping.
Like, I feel like one thing about Tom King is like he's at his best when he has like 1 or 2 books going.
Yeah, all jokes aside, I love Mr. Miracle. Yeah, dude, I legit know from the bottom of my heart, like you would absolutely be screaming Human Target every week if you picked that up and read it.
Yeah,
like that book is fire. As a matter of fact, I have his first appearance should be showing up any day now. Ooh. And I didn't get it because it's his first appearance. I got it because it's Action Comics 419. It's an iconic, awesome Neil Adams cover, but it's also the Human Target's first appearance, which I think is fantastic. So I've got my slab should be showing up today and work on making some labels. And I'm going to just continue until CGC returns my books that they have, which they finally charged me for last night. We had the whole thing where my bank changed. So
Yeah.
just updating the information with CGC. I don't want to say it's been a nightmare. It just is what it is. Please stop yelling, homie. We're watching Transformers while he's playing Transformers, and that's a recipe for crunkness.
Yeah, tends to be.
I don't read enough Tom King to have an opinion. Yeah. Next up, and real quick, I think that this one I'm probably right now, where we stand right now, a little more excited for than Dark Crisis, and that's the Flashpoint Beyond. So DC getting bold here, are running 2 summer events simultaneously that are not interconnected with each other. One being Dark Crisis, the other being Flashpoint Beyond, and this one is actually helmed primarily by Jeff Johns. And I don't know if you've read any of these, Ryan, but Jeff Johns is like Joshua Williams, who's doing Dark Crisis, is almost has the potential to be the next Jeff Johns with his love for DC and his knowledge of DC Comics history and how he's able to like just mingle it all together. Jeff Johns is like master class on that. And he's already started teasing that kind of stuff with issue 1 and the little prelude book. And we're seeing kind of little hints from Doomsday Clock of the missing JSA, the New 52, all the stuff, all the big projects that he worked on that were like, they still exist in people's fandom. He's plucking at them already. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do with it. I'm sure it's going to be some cool stuff.
Yeah, I read the 0 issue on that, and like the writing was far superior to the artwork there. But as good as it was, like it just didn't really hook me enough to make me want to continue. Not because it wasn't good, but because there's like so many great books coming out right now. I already have trouble keeping up. The last thing I need to do is try to keep up with a whole nother event series thing.
Yeah. I don't think there's any tie-ins or anything. This is just 6 issues straightforward. They haven't announced any tie-ins. It's not like your main continuity event. That's what Dark Crisis is. This is like just a 6-issue mini-series that, I mean, hopefully they'll use it to like maybe tighten up some stuff that didn't come to pass, you know, because DC went through so many changes in the past 5 years and everything. Like, maybe they'll just use it to put a bow on some stuff and give us a really good story in the meantime. They are teasing Watchmen characters already. We have Dr. Manhattan's wife being talked about. They're after his watch. They're talking about like the missing 52, the seconds out of the universe, all kinds of stuff. They're really diving into deep continuity with it already. So I'm hoping that it's going to be awesome. Thomas Wayne's Batman is a really cool character. We got some Psycho Pirate on the cover of this one, so it should be dope. And sticking with Batman, we do have an end of a short era here, and ironically, Joshua Williamson is all. He was a temporary writer for Batman, bridging the gap between Tynion and who is going to come after. And they've announced none other than Chip Zdarsky will be picking up the main Batman title and doing a run on it. So this is the final issue that Joshua Williamson will do. So during his brief stint here, he did do a crossover event, the Shadow War, which actually hit really well. Like it was really well done. And this is just, I guess, going to put a wrap on his stuff that he was doing with Abyss, that little 3-issue storyline that he did to kind of introduce the concept of Batman Inc. back into the main forefront, and so he could dump Clown Hunter and Ghostmaker and all these Tynion creations over with Batman Inc., which is actually kind of smart. Now they're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
He really is. I don't care for Robin. It's not bad. It's just not my jam. And I don't pick up Deathstroke Inc. because it just seems pointless. Another one that it probably ain't bad. Just ain't. I don't need it.
Yeah.
And then lastly, for my pickups, Dark Knights of Steel, issue number 7 of 12. I think this one could have been shorter.
The series or the issue?
The series. It's 12 issues. I don't like like the DC stuff is like 7 issues, and every issue is just dynamic and just is insane. And each one of these has been good, but it just seems like we've been doing it for a long time. And I think their interest start to wane off of it. That's a year. 12 issues is a year to do a mini series. Well, it's a max series, but
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have minded seeing it cut down to like 8 or 9 issues and maybe tighten it up a bit, but at the same time, like 6 issues in, they haven't missed. Didn't he take like a little hiatus though, or something? When they're like a month off or something?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, it's been 7 months is all. And
No,
I
I've
think
been
they did
enjoying
announce
it though.
a
Like
one-shot
it's
prequel is coming too, if I'm not mistaken.
the what?
I think they have a one-shot prequel that'll be coming out as well.
That doesn't sound interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Starting to
Yeah,
milk it.
yeah. But I mean, I've enjoyed all 6 issues. I'm excited for number 7. By all technical accounts, that actually ranks higher than Dark Crisis for me right now. But
Nice.
I'm excited
I
for it.
hope Dark Crisis delivers and gets you pumped. I love events. I
Yeah.
love these big events.
I think the biggest problem with like Dark Crisis and what was that other one called? Beyond Flashpoint or whatever.
Flashpoint Beyond.
Yeah, like I think those 2 things are both like real deep lore continuity stuff. And so I think for somebody like me and, especially people that aren't nearly as deep in the lore and have access to a living encyclopedia of it, I think that's like some tough sells, like that's the biggest complaint I've heard about a lot of the stuff DC's done lately is a lot of like people that aren't in DC lore, like this event's dumb. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know who it's for. And I'm like, yeah, I could see like as somebody that I listen to your podcast or watch your YouTube regularly, I know how much DC lore you know. So then I also know what you're missing in these books when you read them, And so I think that's what's probably the toughest sell about Dark Crisis and the Flashpoint Beyond thing is that's real deep cut stuff,
Yeah, I think. Well, there's really no way of me knowing this, but I think that they did a good job of like setting this up, like preluding this for the people that might not know it. But even if you're a new reader coming in, you'd still probably, I don't know. They did that little one shots thing on Free Comic Book Day where they give you the history in a nutshell thing, and none of that you actually need to know to read it. It just adds so much value to it. So it's one of those things. The more history, it's like the more you put into it, the more you get out of it, kind of thing. Just like in life, So the more that you've put into DC Comics, the more you're about to get out of an event like this. At least at this point, we don't know where they're going to take it, but just the setup of it, at least, it's got a major setup. Like it's strong setup if you have that backstory. I've read all these crises. I've spent a lot of time in DC Comics in between each of these crises. There's still stuff that I don't get, but that's what I have Sector 2815 for. Yeah. That's what we have Brother John for.
Has an encyclopedia.
Between the hardcore DC fans in this community, you can get our heads together and we can fill each other in on the little things we might miss.
Yeah.
I feel like we're building towards a clash of Dark Knights of Steel for an issue or two too long. I don't know. We'll see. Like at this point, I mean, like in all sincerity, they kind of showed like Superman could. We need like a reveal of what's going on with the Kryptonians. Where's the Kryptonian reveal? Are they really bad guys? Is it a Martian? Like I'm expecting a Martian. Like you could do the next issue, like just getting the armies together with the forces of hell that they teased, reveal the Kryptonians, and then roll a final issue. Like that's how I mean, sure they're going to do some cool stuff and play it out, obviously longer than that, but you could easily wrap it like that, like at this point.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on. I feel like we're still doing a lot of introductions even still too.
Yeah. I mean, I've really enjoyed everything that they've done so far. Like all 6 issues were top-notch issues to me, but yeah, I do see the issue with like the back half getting a little drawn out with the way that they've paced it so far. So
but Tom Taylor,
I think number 7 is going to reveal if there's like more life to this that'll carry it through 12, or if it is going to feel like, okay, this is the point where things are getting too drawn out.
But you know what's going to happen is he's going to, like he does in every issue, he's going to drop a bombshell in this issue, like every issue, and you're like, dude, that was fire.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I think it might just be the anticipation. Like I just want to see how it plays out. I want to know what happens, so I'm ready for it to get there. I'm ready to have it in my memory bank, not for it to be over, but just to have experienced it. It's like getting a movie trailer that goes on for 7 months. I'm ready for the reveal. I need to know, but it's supposed to do that, I guess.
Yeah. That's the problem with hype, right?
Almost forgot the force of the Fel and Constantine's deal with Ra's al Ghul. There's one thing I don't forget, and that's when Etrigan pops up.
Right.
I don't forget that.
He came through that wall, man.
Yeah, it was dope. So I did pick up 3 more Superman back issues today. I picked up Superman issue number 32, just to show how everything in life is recycled. It's Mongol punching Gladiator Superman right there on the cover.
Nice.
I thought that was dope.
That's a heck of a back arch there.
Yeah, right? Picked up. This is issue 456. It's a cool shark cover. I love sharks, man. That just looks cool. Jaws of the killer shark. So, obviously, riding on the coattails and popularity of the movie Jaws. And then this is just an early Superman. It's from 1965, issue 174. Some 12-cent goodness.
Nice.
This is a cool cover. Featuring Clark Kent's incredible delusion. Can't fly, have no powers, no costume. It's just the whole book takes place right there on the cover. I love it. Love it.
Right?
Yes, Soup needs that bat shark repellent for sure. And my break time is over. We'll catch y'all later. You have a good one, Ruby. Thank you so much for popping by. DC trivia question: has any version of Mongol tangled with Darkseid, like against Darkseid? I don't think so. I don't think. I'm not to my knowledge. I easily could be wrong. But
Were they both in Last Ride?
No, they were both in that. He's saying tangled with him, like fought against Darkseid is what I assume that means. Yeah, they
Darkseid turned on everybody in that book.
Yeah, dude, he went God mode when he got in that
Omega level.
That was nuts.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Well, I'm anticipating to read Batman Beyond Neo Year 3 and Monkey Prince number 5. So
that first Batman Beyond I read, I really liked, and then that's all I did. I said I'm going to read it digital, and that's what happens.
That's the nail in the coffin, right?
It is. It really is.
The second one was pretty good. It was good. I didn't really agree with the character decision made by Terry, like toward the end of that issue. Just to spoil it, he takes his mask off and like reveals himself. And I was like, why are you doing this? Like, that's Batman's number 1 rule. And like, well,
that's
I guess
better than opening his
after no
trench
guns
coat and revealing himself.
Do what?
That's better than opening his trench coat and revealing himself.
But it was a cool issue because you actually find out like what happened to Bruce and like how he trained and taught Terry before he disappeared, you know. So the whole issue is kind of like Terry narrating over the issue, but like telling like all the rules that Bruce taught him and how he taught him to be Batman and how, you know, Terry's like running out of resources. He's running out of batarangs. He's running out of energy in the belt and stuff, you know. And so like he's really having to rely on like the actual Batman training versus all the technology and stuff that's built into the suit. And then at the end of it, he takes his mask off and reveals himself to some characters. And I'm like, why? Like, it's kind of supposed to be like this moment of desperation where like he's running out of resources and he needs somebody on his side at this point because Gotham is a living entity in this world, you know, and he's up against Gotham and not doing well. But again, I just didn't really care with his decision to remove his mask. But it was a good issue, and it was really cool to hear him talk about Bruce as like this fatherly mentor figure and what all of that training really meant to him. So that was a cool issue. And then Monkey Prince number 5, it's been good. It's not been amazing. Like it kind of has like this childish nature to it, but at the same time, like Monkey Prince is coming into his own, and I've stuck along with it long enough that I'm excited to get to the end and see how he's going to tie into like the larger DC universe.
Is that a limited or ongoing?
It's either 5 or 6 issues.
And that's like
it's 6, but 4 kind of. Oh, well, this one's Big Stick Energy 1, so. And it's a Jaws homage cover. So, yeah, I think it's 6 issues for this.
Did you say Big Stick Energy 1?
Yes.
Okay, just making
Big
sure. I
Thick
heard you
Energy
correct.
Part 1. And the cover is a Jaws homage.
Oh, I did see that cover when I was looking through stuff. Yeah, that was pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's right. Yeah, at the end they of 4 they teased that Aquaman was gonna show up, and sure enough, he's on the B cover, which looks really nice actually. Man, that's a cool cover. But yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. It's gonna be fun.
We're right past the 30-minute mark. Then we want to try to cut it and keep it rewind watchable to the best of its ability. You got anything else you want to hit on?
No, man. Let's
What
see.
was the Substack one you mentioned earlier?
Oh,
That
the
was before we were
Oddly
live.
Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos. It's Tynan's next book. He's going to be releasing it every 2 months, every other month. But it's like 38 pages, so like it's a nice chunk of a read, and it's pretty cool. It's got like something is killing the children kind of vibes to it, but also like this like superhero vibe to it as well, and a little bit of like the folly of youth, kind of something that would be it would kind of connect to people in the way that like Stranger Things does, where it's like this sort of like retro throwback to like 80s teenage movies or something. So a lot of influences in there that probably made a lot of no sense, but it was a cool book, and for 38 pages it gives you like a really nice story. Like it's very meaty and full of content, and it's free, so 38 pages for free you can't beat.
I'll tell you what's not free is the other books I'm picking up this week. They don't drop till tomorrow. We Live #3 comes out, which really excited about. I think it's like the first arc. This is only going to be 5 issues, so this is where the story is going to have to really make or break for this volume. And in the Miranda brothers, I definitely trust for that. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. We Live #3. As well as some issue of Thor is dropping that is the next part of the Banner of War storyline. It's the Hulk storyline, so I am following it. It's just
You're the problem, not the solution.
Thor's the Hulk now. I'm not breaking my run, Ryan. I'm not. That's the way I look at it. I'm not breaking my run for.
Don't break the chain.
Yeah, I'm not breaking it.
You're not gonna break it for Donnie Cates.
Yeah, I'm not gonna break it for Cates. All right, Flash, you have a good one. I hope everyone else has a good one. And as a reminder, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And if you want to be entered to win an Ultimate Fallout 4 CGC 9.4, the first appearance of Miles Morales, that is a first print. Go back a couple videos ago. Look for that thumbnail right there and check it out. See if it's something that you'd be interested in or not. And until next time, guys, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.